We are finally ready to get this Madden 22 franchise going. With the scouting update now out, we can get it going. We are ready to go. In last video, I had 3 teams that I wanted you guys to vote on. And you came out, you voted, and man, was it close to figure out which franchise team we're going to go with. Now, if you don't remember, those 3 teams were the New York Jets were team number 1. The second team, the Indianapolis Colts, and team number 3 was the Denver Broncos. And let me tell you, it was close. 2 teams tied, and 1 team just missed out. Now, the team that ended up missing out was the Indianapolis Colts. Just came short of the vote, so we won't be going with the Colts. They're still a very talented team. It was just another team to kind of throw in there for a possibility that kind of, they're struggling right now in real life, maybe based off their hard schedule, but still a decent team, maybe to possibly a real build, but it won't happen here as they're out. Now, the 2 teams that tied are the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. Now, as for the Broncos, the interesting thing with them, obviously, you can bring in a new quarterback, kind of rework their offense a little bit, but it's the division. You're taking on the Chiefs, who are struggling right now, but still, Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and then you have the up-and-coming Chargers, who are playing outstanding, and you have the Las Vegas Raiders now dealing with the whole John Gruden situation, but still, that division would make this very interesting for sure, because even if you have a solid defensive team like the Broncos, it's just so tough to compete in that division. Now, the other team, the New York Jets, now the thing with this is a complete rebuild. This team needs pretty much everything. This roster can be built however you want to be built. It really can. I know they drafted Zach Wilson. Like I've said before, a reason I might pick him is I might bring in my own quarterback. We'll see. I don't know what Zach Wilson's going to bring to the table. So there's a possibility that we just go first-round quarterback next year and go from there and have a kind of battle. But the rest of the roster, there is not a whole lot there. And obviously, the downfall of this is we played with the Dolphins last year, so we know all about this division. But it has changed. The Bills are a lot better. Josh Allen may be the best quarterback in football, maybe the best team in football other than maybe the Arizona Cardinals. The Patriots now have the quarterback of the future. They got Mac Jones. Their defense is always going to be solid. And also, the Dolphins, their roster is definitely improved for sure. Is Tua the quarterback going forward? Who knows? But the division is still tough. That is for sure. And because of the roster, I've decided to go with this team, the New York Jets. This is going to be the franchise team. It's just based off roster alone. They need so much work, and I can do whatever I want with it. So we're going with the Jets. I think we're going to keep Robert Saleh. I like him as a head coach. And I think, instead of going with a random character like we did before, we're just going to keep Robert Saleh as the head coach of our Jets team. And we're going to go forward and try to bring the Jets back to a Super Bowl somewhere where they haven't been since Super Bowl III with Joe Namath. I mean, this is definitely a franchise that has had many and many problems. It had those few good years with Rex Ryan and company, reaching a couple AFC Championship games. But, man, this Jets franchise needs a turnaround, that is for sure. And now we can get into the new scouting. So, really, this is the first time I've gone through it. I haven't really checked it out yet. I just watched a couple videos on it. So right now, we can hire and fire scouts. Now, you can do that at any time, I'm pretty sure. You can hire and fire scouts at any time. But looking at it, we got Darrelle Revis already here. That's awesome. I like how they have the former players in there. That is really cool to see. They have plenty more, as already Darrelle Revis is one of our scouts. Now, you see the tiers? If you don't know, you get 1 3-tier, 1 2-tier, and then you get the 3 1-tiers. So with Revis already on our scouting as our 3-tier, and we're going to need cornerbacks for sure on this team. There's no doubt about it. There's our 3-tier, and I think what we're going to do is look at the free agent scouts and just look at the quarterback, because that's next on my list. We already have a 1-tier quarterback, and as you can see, the only other position expertise, which give you a little bit of bonus, is a 3-tier, so we can't hire him. I think we're going to stick with what he got because there's no other position expertise he's the only one. Marcus Lamb's the only other one with a quarterback expertise to give us that extra bonus. Now, Jesus Montenegro, left tackle's the other one. You got Ray Garrison. So I think we get rid of Ray Garrison at the moment because we don't need another corner. And I think we get rid of John Sanders. I'm not sure if we keep Montenegro. I think we keep him. I think we get rid of Sanders because I just want to see who's available in the 2 tier. There's possibly maybe a former player we can get. That would be really cool. Like I said, any position I think really right now for the expertise to get the extra bonus is not going to really matter because we need pretty much everything on this team. So we're going to stick with those guys. So we need one more tier 2 scout and one tier 1 scout. So let's take a look at the tier 2. So you got Reggie Wayne and Brandon Marshall sitting there. Got TJ Hushmanzada. I like Reggie Wayne. I think we go with Reggie Wayne here. Maybe we hire Reggie Wayne. He'll be our tier 2 scout, wide receiver, another former player. Can't go wrong with that. So Reggie Wayne, not going to Indy. He's going to come to New York and be one of our scouts on our staff. And then we need one more scout here. And really, it's tough. You got 3 tier 1 halfback scouts, which we're definitely going to need. I think we're going to need a running back, no doubt about it. Left end, like I said, any position really on this team is a need. It really is. So we got offensive line. We got quarterback. We got receiver. We got corner. Do we just continue with the offense and just try to rebuild this offense? I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to have halfback, and that is going to be our 5th scout hired, and that is going to be Hayden Archer is going to be the other scout. So his position expertise is going to be halfback. And obviously, we'll have to work on the regions as well. We'll have to take a look at the regions where we want to put guys. You can move things around. You can do that throughout the season. So that's awesome how it's not kind of, stuck in the ways, and we can do that. So now we move on to week number 1. And we can choose a draft class. So I asked you guys if you'd like to see more of a realistic draft class or the automated draft class. And a couple of you guys said you'd like to see the realistic draft classes. So that's what we're going to do just for Season 1. Season 1 is going to be a realistic draft class. And then from there on out, we're just going to use the automated Madden draft class. And we're going to use Bengals draft class. I think he does a pretty good job. Yeah, I know he watches a lot of film in college. So trust on there, and we'll go from there, use his draft class. So season number 1 is going to be real prospects from college. And then from there on out, like I said, we'll go to the Madden random draft class. So you can see how it breaks down. You get the region breakdown with the National, West, Central, Northeast, and Southeast. So it gives you your top prospect where in that area. It gives it the strengths, weaknesses of the area. You know what you're looking forward to. Obviously have your scout in each area. And then we'll see here, I think week number 2 is where you can definitely change up the scouting focus. So if I want to keep Hayden Archer there, halfback, in that area, definitely can. But it doesn't, just because his expertise is halfback doesn't mean he has to scout it. So we can scout more of the strength or weaknesses. There, you just obviously get the bonus of the whatever's their expertise. I just like how you can change things around. Like I said, if say a scout doesn't work out in your favor, you're not liking the way it looks, the way the areas are, you just get rid of that scout, try to find somebody that works out in that area. And that's how that's going to work out. I think that's a really cool idea. And really, right now, with this draft class, we can take a look at some of the prospects we got going on. So you got Sam Howell as your projected number 1 overall pick. Thibodeau, Stingley, Neal, Wilson, Leo, Willis, Hamilton, Kirkland, Elam, Chris Olave. That rounds out with your top 10 into the 11. So let's take a look at quarterback. I'm going to be looking at this, no doubt about it. I know Jets fans are probably like, what are you doing? You got to, roll with, Zach Wilson. What are you doing? Well, I don't know. We'll see. Sam Howell, number 1. He'll probably go number 1 depending on the team. Willis, you got Matt Carroll. There's definitely guys there that I'm thinking of possibly taking. Same thing with halfback. There's plenty of guys here. Spiller, White, Brian Robinson out of Alabama. We don't have to take a first-round pick because I believe we have 2 first-round picks, so we can wait and maybe the second and maybe take a receiver because you got Garrett Wilson. Chris Olave, I think, is a big-time talent. Same with John Mechie. Those Alabama receivers, just ridiculous how good they definitely are. Pickens, Dotson, Burks, Bell. There's a lot of guys here. So much talent at receiver that maybe we take a first-round pick. We take the quarterback, receiver, and go from there. As for tight end, it's probably a place we need to look at as well because we're weak, but maybe we look more to free agency in there instead of maybe drafting somebody up top. Maybe that's more 5th, 6th round pick possibly. Guard is going to be a big-time position, but you can see not a lot of talent. Offensive line is always an issue. It is definitely an issue for sure. Left guard, there's a few guys here maybe in the top 4 rounds, but not really a whole lot. And same thing with center. There's a few guys here and there, but it's not a big-time thing. So what we're going to have to do is really look maybe at the tackle position. As you see, there's a few guys here projected in the first round at right tackle with Cross and Kennard. And then you got Lucas in the third. But after that, left tackle, look at it. Yeah, you got Neil Kirkland, Ryan Green, Nelson, Petit Freer, Penning. I mean, there's plenty of guys here in the first that maybe we draft one of these guys and kind of move them around and then go from there. As for end, it's now Saul's bringing over to that 4-3 defense. So you got your two end rush ends over there. You're not going to have the outside linebackers. You're going to have more of a rush end. So Thibodeau, I mean, he would be a fantastic addition, no doubt about it, because we got to generate pass rush. We got to do everything we can up front because the secondary next year is going to be young. It's not going to be that talented. Even if we draft, say, Stingley or Elam or Booth or one of these guys we draft in the first round, that's another possibility. Are still going to need help. You know, if you get a pass rush, you can really help them out. So I think what we're going to do is just favorite. What you can do is favorite these guys and kind of like, you know, your draft board. But I think we're going to favorite most of these corners because that is a big time need for corner. You can kind of see in the grade on the side, it's a D. It's not good. Obviously, outside linebacker and stuff, I think we might look towards free agency as well. But I also like how you kind of look at only a few positions per year. You can't just scout everybody and have a great scouting report on every position all the way down. You know, I like how it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So that is cool to see, as we'll definitely favorite a bunch of these quarterbacks. We'll favorite some of these halfbacks, running backs for sure. We'll go around and do some different things, but I like that. I like how you have to kind of commit maybe to a certain position and go from there, and it really makes the scouting more important. I also like how, you know, you can't just instantly get the first 3 grades. It's going to take time over the season to really unravel what these guys have, giving the extra grades, and obviously, you know, a lot more into the scouting combine and really, you know, after the offseason, see what these guys really have kind of in an athletic form and, you know, do they have really good skills, I think is a big time thing as well. So I would say this scouting update right now, from the way I'm seeing it, the way I'm going through it, it's a lot more intensive, no doubt about it, but it's far and ahead better than the scouting that has been in Madden for the past, how many years? 4 or 5 years, really big time. This is definitely a lot better for sure. And it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the draft works out, because we'll get to the mock drafts here soon. I believe there's 5 mock drafts. So we'll see how mock draft 1 works out and see how, you know, do teams that don't need a quarterback, you know, look like they want to take a quarterback, or how that's going to work out. Now, it's obviously going to be based off the standings and where the draft order is, but hopefully that's kind of improved as well, because I don't want to see, say, you know, the Bengals taking a quarterback. Why would they do that? They wouldn't take it. There's no need for. So hopefully that improves as well. As for the season goals, 4 wins. Like I said, we'll get into the actual real standings of the season. So we'll come in already starting with 1 win and going forward. I'm not sure how many more we are going to get. But let's skip ahead to week 3 and get to this first mock draft. So let's see where this is going to land us. Who do they think we're going to take in this first round, and see what other teams are going to take. Now, it's obviously going to change based off of the standings throughout the season. So you don't have to really, you know, take this first mock draft for granted, really. Just want to see how this definitely works out for mock draft number 1 here in week number 3. So let's see what this goes. And Sam Howell is the number 1 overall pick to the Ravens. Okay, I don't think that's definitely a possibility. I don't think the Ravens are going to be picking number 1. But right now they have Sam Howell at number 1. That's not what you want to see. Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to see. Is like, hey, we're projected to take a quarterback and we don't need it. So Neal to the Packers, Thibodeau to the Jaguars. That would make sense. Stingley to the Browns. And they're going to say we're going to take Keir Elam out of Florida. That's a possibility. I mean, we might have a top 5 pick for sure. Leo, Kirkland, Hamilton, Kroos, Wilson to the Vikings. Olave to the Washington football team. Let's see, go down to one other pick. Let's see, got Mechie to the Titans, Harris to the Eagles. And the other pick, they're saying Ahmad Gardner, another corner. I don't think we're taking 2 corners in the first round. I think we maybe take 1, but I don't think 2. So that's interesting for sure. And there you go. Malik Willis, quarterback going to the Bengals. That's not going to happen. So hopefully these are wrong, because I don't see some of these teams taking what they're going to take. Matt Carroll going to the Raiders. Don't see it. But you can see how the scouting works. You get their scouting report here on Stingley. Struggles to find the ball in the air. Motor always running hot. Often looks to rip ball from the runners and typically avoids there. As you can see, his physicality. You can see the acceleration, agility, change of direction, jumping, speed, strength. It'll give you that rating from, a great, which pretty much elite, all the way down. You can do the key info to see what it's going to look like. And as for skills, all we got right now is catching and injury. But hopefully during the season, we see a little bit more. And obviously for those physicals, we'll have to wait to the offseason. But I like how that kind of works out. And I'm pretty sure you cannot tell what their overall is. Even once you drafted them, you have to wait a little bit. So that's definitely cool to see. So I'm all about this scouting update. I think it's really good. I think it really improves, makes it a little bit more in depth. I just hope the AI decision making during drafting and free agency goes along with it, so it's not, anything crazy. Now, as we get into week 6, during the bye week, and the assistant GM has come with us saying to check out Tyke Smith, free safety. So that could be a possibility, because you'll see here right about in a second, we're going to maybe move on from our free safety Marcus May. I think there's no reason. This is our franchise. I know the Jets might not make trades in real life. Maybe they will. Who knows? But I think that's what we're going to do. Marcus May, the best player right now on our team. You can see the draft picks. We have 2 first. I believe we have 2 2s, a 3, a 4. We have 2 5s and 3 6s. So we have a decent amount of draft picks to try to build up this team. But, you want to acquire as much as possible just in case you want to trade up. That's a possibility. So Marcus May, best player on the team right now. He's 20 years old, but he is in his final year of his contract. I don't suppose he would want to resign here. I don't see why you would. And also, I don't think we were interested in re-signing him as well. We're ready to move on. I pretty much told you from any player on this team. So I think Marcus May, let's see if we can find a trade partner, get some more draft capital, and go from there. And we found one in the Las Vegas Raiders. They definitely need free safety. They're definitely want to win now. They're right now playing very well. And I think that's a possibility. We're not going to get a first-round pick, but maybe a possible second-round pick. And then maybe a pick next year. I don't know about a 3. Maybe we go a 4. Maybe we go 4 next year. So it's second round this year, 4 for next year for Marcus May. Let's see if the Raiders take that. And they do. So that works out. Now that gives us 3 second-round picks, another 4th-round pick for next year. That is a nice trade. We'll take that all day. Now the next guy we're going to try to move on is Jamison Crowder. Same thing. Last year of his contract. I think he can move on. Green Bay, they could always use another decent receiver, give Aaron Rodgers somebody. Now, I don't think we're going to get a second, but maybe go a 3rd for Jamison Crowder to Green Bay, and let's see if they take this deal, and they do. So we get another 3rd-round pick for this year, and now we are loaded with picks. There is no doubt about it. We got a lot of picks this year. This draft is going to be very important. 2 first, 3 seconds, 2 thirds now to go with the 4th, 2 5ths, and 3 6. So this is a very, very decent draft, possibility this year. And that also gives Denzel Mims, who I want to see, gives him a chance. We move him to 2. Elijah Moore, the rookie at Ole Miss, move him to 3 kind of in the slot. And that'll be the receivers going forward. And that's where we're going to start right here, taking on the New England Patriots 1-4. We'll see what the rest of the season has. Zach Wilson's going to have his chance to impress. We'll see what happens. I still think I'm going to bring in a quarterback unless he goes absolutely bananas. But the way he's played this year, I don't expect that. But this is going to be a fun franchise. We can totally rebuild this team, totally rebuild it, and bring in who we want to and try to build this Jets team back up and bring them to Super Bowl. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new for more franchise content, and I will see you in the next one. And you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.